I am blown away by these stories. Oh my gosh. It really does make you really think about what is actually possible, how powerful our mind really is. Dr. Joe Dispenza is an international lecturer, best-selling author, researcher, and chiropractor who used meditation and the power of his mind to heal his own broken spine.
The prognosis was I probably wouldn't walk again, and I just made a deal with myself that if I was ever able to walk again, I'd spend the rest of my life studying the mind-body connection and mind over matter.
Dr. Joe Dispenza is at the forefront of exploring the intersection of science and spirituality through studying the connections between neuroscience, physiology, quantum physics, the law of attraction, and cosmic experiences. Although there are not any peer-reviewed scientific papers published about Dr. Joe's work yet, and he definitely faces some criticism from mainstream science and medicine, there are thousands of people all over the world who are using Dr. Joe's meditations and techniques, and many of these folks say they are achieving truly remarkable results.
What popped into my bank account, it was $500,000.
You know what he did? He took a good portion of that money and he gave it away.
Yes.
That is the consciousness of abundance.
In this video, you are going to hear directly from some of these people.
I wanted to cry. I haven't slept like that in 20 years.
Depression's completely gone.
This pain is gone. I just knew I was healed. I mean, I can believe it because the work works.
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable.
I know, some days I'm like, huh? Pinch. That's the power of our mind, and that's the power of this work.
I've known about Dr. Joe Dispenza for a little while now. You can even watch a past video I made about my experience attending a Dr. Joe Dispenza weekend workshop called Becoming Supernatural in Boulder, Colorado at the Gaia Sphere, Gaia's event center. If you haven't heard of Gaia yet, then you clearly haven't been watching enough Skylife videos because I've been talking about it a lot recently. Gaia is the world's largest streaming platform for conscious media, aka the Netflix of spirituality. I use Gaia all the time for yoga videos, guided meditations, and to watch shows you won't find on mainstream platforms. So before we go any further, I need to let y'all know that Gaia is offering the Vibe Tribe a free trial so you can access more than 9,000 mind-expanding programs, including Dr. Joe Dispenza's brand new show called Rewired, which dives into the science behind his decades of research and teaching. And right now, if you want to completely immerse yourself in this experience, you can sign up for a Gaia Live Access membership, and you'll be able to stream the actual live event I attended at Gaia headquarters, which includes all the guided meditations from the weekend. And I can say from experience that this event was incredible, so definitely check it out and be sure to click the link in the video description if you are seriously interested in learning more about Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you watched my video about my experience attending Dr. Joe's weekend workshop at Gaia, you'll know that I was super skeptical at first, but I ended up having an awesome experience, and I left the weekend truly uplifted and empowered and really wanting to start applying what I learned from that weekend to my life and to put Dr. Joe's meditations to the test. So when I started this particular meditation challenge, I definitely wasn't starting from ground zero. I've been meditating for years, and I have read Dr. Joe's books, I attended the workshop, and I've tried some of his meditations, but I have not consistently practice his meditations over the course of time. And 40 days straight is no joke, especially given that most of Dr. Joe's meditations are about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Finding the time to sit down for an hour every day was definitely going to be a huge challenge for me. I'm ready for bed. I got my retainers in, I got my rose oil on my face, and I gotta get to bed because I am about to wake up very early to get this meditation done. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself where I'm going to commit to these long meditations every day for 40 days? It's a huge chunk of time, but I feel like I need this. My mind has been my worst enemy recently. I need to do something about it, and I want to use this challenge as a way to completely overcome all of the stories I tell myself in my brain.
The next day.
I just woke up. My alarm just went off. I really want to sleep for another hour. But I'm gonna get up and get on with this freaking meditation. Okay, let's do this. Oh, no. I want to stay in bed.
1 hour later.
Wow, I feel amazing right now. I feel like I am so excited about life and ready to take on the day. I really did not want to wake up this morning and do this meditation. It's only 6 a.m. right now. I'm about to go to yoga, but I'm so glad that I got myself out of bed and did this. Damn, that was powerful.
In the beginning, it was going really well. I was really excited to start out and really excited to start applying everything that I was learning about Dr. Joe and his meditations.
Overall, that was a super empowering meditation. Oh my gosh. Towards the end, I was like, yes, let's take on life. Let's take on the day.
Dr. Joe Dispenza does make some pretty big claims about what his meditations can do.
In our last event, 2 people with stage 4 cancer, completely reversed.
Wow.
A woman with a very serious neurological disorder, crutches the whole bit, left the event, no crutches. Well, how did she do that? If you start realizing that this is actually possible, and I can tell you that without a doubt it is, because the things that I'm witnessing.
According to Dr. Joe and those who have actually practiced his meditations over time, there are thousands of people now who have miraculous stories of healing, manifestation, and cosmic experiences. And Dr. Joe's YouTube channel alone has hundreds of testimonial videos with some pretty crazy stories. But rather than just watch these testimonial videos, I really wanted to find other people out there that I could speak with directly. And when I spoke with some of these people, I could not believe what I was hearing. Tell me about your life before you found Dr. Joe. What was going on?
About a year ago, I went into a major health crisis. I mean, just everything that had been accumulating, it all just peaked out. My maldebarkment syndrome was in a horrible state. Insomnia to where I could go 3 days with just no sleep. Physical pain in my body. I was having lots of thyroid issues as well. The worst of all of it was a 10-year battle with horrific GI conditions that literally were debilitating. You put all that together, and that's a lot of stress on the body, and it's also a lot of stress on the brain.
Prior to finding Dr. Joe, I had a lot of social anxiety, and I battled depression and anxiety in general. My social anxiety got so high, I couldn't leave my room. I dropped out of high school at the beginning of my junior year. I didn't know what to do with my life.
I was suffering from what doctors suggest was endometriosis, so I would have painful periods, so debilitating that I couldn't walk. I had them for years and years and years.
I haven't slept well for 20 years without medication. I've tried tons and tons of different kinds of medication for chronic pain and for sleeping, and nothing seems to work for very long.
And then I got the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I started reading that book, and it was like it was speaking to me.
I just knew that was going to change my life. It was just an instinct I had. It was like my medicine. So it helped me just learn so much about myself I didn't even know. Something in me awakened.
It was a completely different way of looking at my symptoms, my challenges, but also how my brain was operating.
Within 2 or 3 weeks, I started sleeping, really sleeping. I wanted to cry. I haven't slept like that in 20 years.
And I had a menstrual moon cycle and I didn't have any pain. I don't have this anymore. This pain is gone. I mean, I can believe it because the work works.
I woke up one morning, I'm not cramping. Why am I not cramping? I cramp with GI issues, doubling over every single morning as soon as I get up. That was back in December. I haven't had an issue since. And this was a decade-long, every single day issue.
It was pretty quick. I started sleeping and I was just floored. And then the pain started to ease up. I was getting 2 or 3 migraines a week. Since I started doing the meditations, I've had 1 migraine. So it's a huge difference.
Depression's completely gone. And over time, the anxiety is decreased so much. It doesn't control me anymore. I have control over my anxiety. I have control over my thoughts and my feelings. I don't even know, the person I used to be, that person's just gone. I have a sense of purpose in knowing who I am. It changed my life.
Here's the huge one. Remember I mentioned the maldebarkment syndrome, the 24/7 vertigo.
Wow.
Gone. And then I would say that the last thing, and this is a lot since September, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what? The last thing is my thyroid levels are moving more and more and more towards normal. They have had to reduce my medication twice since I started working with Dr. Joe. And prior to Dr. Joe, they were increasing.
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable.
I know, like some days I'm like, huh? Pinch, pinch, pinch. That's the power of our mind. And that's the power of this work.
One really important thing to note about all of these people I talked to, their healing process took a lot of time, patience, and a ton of dedication.
Looking within and sitting down and meditating every day, like it's not easy.
Consistent, twice a day, every single day, whether I wanted to or not, I was in meditation.
You have to be willing to look within and sit with yourself, sit in your fear and like sit in your anxiety and sit in your depression. And you have to be willing to look at that head on.
And what I started to experience myself is that meditating every day for that long is really hard. I started having all kinds of issues with keeping up with it.
I am really exhausted and I've been feeling so burnt out recently, and my body is just shutting down and like forcing me to sleep more. I have not yet done my meditation today, and technically it's already into the next day because it's 1 a.m. So I am going to do the meditation before I go to bed, but I'm considering laying in my bed and playing it pretty much while I fall asleep. And I know that's kind of cheating, but I'm tired. I feel like I f***ed up, but honestly, with any challenge I do, I have to know that that might happen. I can't beat myself up about it. I just need to move forward, learn from it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm on day 17 of this challenge, so I'm about halfway through, and I feel like this is the worst that I've ever been at following a challenge on my channel. Like, this is proving to be the most difficult one I've tried because I just feel like I'm failing at doing these meditations the right way. Like, I continue to fall asleep during the meditations. I'm just trying to find different ways to approach this so I can successfully complete these meditations, because the only way for me to know if I'm gonna get anything out of these specific meditations is to just do them right and to do them the best way that I can. And right now I feel like I'm not doing that, so I'm not seeing results. So if you are new to Dr. Joe's work, a big question you might be wondering is, what is actually going on? How do these meditations work on the mind and body to generate such crazy results, and how are they different than other forms of meditation? Honestly, it's a huge topic with many layers, and I can't even begin to unpack it all in one video. And if you're really interested in this stuff, like, you gotta read, you gotta do your own research, but I'm gonna do my best to like break it down and give a general overview. In one sentence, here's what it really breaks down to. Thoughts create our reality. You can easily roll your eyes at this because we've heard it so many times, especially in the new age scene. But Dr. Joe is someone who is truly at the forefront of exploring this concept scientifically, even if we still have a long way to go in fully understanding it. This stuff goes deep, and this is way beyond just positive thinking, because what Dr. Joe explains is that we actually get addicted to our own crappy thoughts and suffering. It's like a drug. And that's why we're often stuck in the same old patterns and we can't get out of them. We go on autopilot. And when you start to accumulate years of stress, anxiety, trauma, and conditioning that's been placed upon us from the time that we are born, that's very hard to break out of. But that is what this work is all about. It's about taking back our control. And in these meditations, you are actually changing your brain waves to create the right environment where you can start to rewire your brain, release trapped, stagnant emotion in the body, and thereby create a new story for your life. Although it took a few weeks to get there, by the end of the challenge, I started to notice a major shift. What's really interesting is I feel like my mood is way higher than normal despite all of the craziness happening in the world. I feel great. I feel super optimistic. I feel excited. I feel grateful. And I really think that these meditations are having an effect on my overall default mode. For so long, I didn't know if I was doing these right, and I wasn't even doing them right, but somehow they're still having an effect on me and my psyche and my subconscious. And I feel like I am truly starting to break the habit of being myself. I I feel like my confidence in myself and my mood have naturally been elevated, and for some reason my business is doing really well during a time when things are kind of crazy in the world and everybody is sort of in this fear mindset. I somehow have been able to stay grounded, calm, and I really think these meditations are just putting me in a higher state of consciousness even when my body wants to go back into that suffering we can be addicted to. I'm actually pretty amazed at how much I feel like this has changed my life so far. The entire process of making this video has been putting me through such a back and forth between my own logical, skeptical, analytical mind wanting to dismiss some of this stuff, but then experiencing it for myself, and also interviewing some of these people directly, listening to people's stories with unbelievable things you couldn't even believe. You gotta let go of that logic and that conditioning we've been told our whole lives about who we are and what we're capable of. I still have so many questions, but this is not something that I can turn away from anymore. And I certainly don't think this is the last time I'm going to be making a video about Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I had tried everything. Nothing ever worked the way this works.
Dr. Joe's work, it's all about looking within for the answer and for the solutions of changing yourself. So you have to be somebody who's willing to go within and look at like the negative in yourself. It's a journey within.
Overall, I just feel way better, way happier. My default state is just so different. Like, I feel noticeably different. I feel excited. I feel like I can take on the challenges ahead of me with confidence. Like, my confidence has increased. I am so excited to see what would happen if I actually continued beyond these 40 days. And as always, I want to remind you that you have the power to thrive. You have the power to live your best life ever. And I will see you next week. Bye.
Got a lot of time on our hands, yeah. Don't have to rush a thing, don't you know? Easy, let it come, let the sun hit ya. Easy, let it come, don't worry about tomorrow. Why waste your time working 9 to 5? Yeah, we're so young, baby, and we're flying to the sky.